Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bonny and welcome to Bonny Beauty Hub. So today we're going to try the One Size Beauty powder foundation. It is called the Turn Up the Base Versatile Foundation Powder. So if you want to see how it wears on my skin, what is the technique I use to wear it and how long it lasts and what happens by the end of the day, if you want to know all of that, keep on watching. Okay. So here I have the product. I had my skincare done this morning. I used Secure the Blur primer and I used a little bit of my color corrector, my Bobbi Brown color corrector and my NARS concealer. Everything will be linked in the description box below if you're curious what I have on my face. So that is all that I've done because we're going for a very medium finish. It's a very natural finish look we're going today. You can also do a very full coverage look, and that is if you use any type of foundation, any foundation that you use on a daily basis, you just use this powder foundation on top of that and that would give you a definitely full coverage look. So I'm going based on the video. I just watched one video from Starrr and that is the video that he posted for Sephora, and he did two types of looks. One was a very natural look and one was a full coverage look. I am going to do the natural look that he tried, so I'm going to do exactly the steps that he says because they have formulated this product, so they know better as what way to use this product. So yeah, so I'm going to do a very natural look, and if you want a full coverage, as I told you, use it on top of a foundation, a regular foundation, and it'll give you a full coverage. So this is Turn Up the Base One Size Versatile Foundation Powder. I have it in the shade medium 4. It is medium for golden undertones, and look at the packaging. Oh my god, I just touched it and I have these fingerprints over here. I hope it's looking clean right now. I used my primer and that is why the oiliness was here. So this is the packaging. Let me just open it up and then give it a rating. Okay. Am I missing something? No, I'm not missing. Okay, so it has this plastic just to keep the glass safe. But why I'm surprised is because it doesn't have a puff. Normally any powder foundation, it does come with a puff, so that's the best way to use it. But it doesn't come with a puff. So I do have the One Size Beauty puff. So let me just get it and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got my One Size Beauty puff. Thank God it's clean. So okay, so other than the puff, that was a little bit surprising. I did not notice it in the video as well. Yes, he did use this puff. So for some reason I thought because it's a powder foundation, we will definitely get a puff, a sponge with this. But I like the packaging. So especially for people who have nails, it is very easy to open it up because it is magnetic, but still you have this split over here that you can just touch it, give the grip over here and just open it up, and that is definitely something that I like in this packaging. Other than the sponge, I definitely love everything, that the way the packaging looks, the color, it's all beautiful. I don't like metallic reds, but this is still really beautiful. Alright, so the glass is also pretty, and first what he does is they take a fluffy brush, a powder brush, and then he gives a very light coverage on his skin, and then he goes with the puff. So what I'm going to do, whatever I'm going to do, I'm just going to do it on one side. So I'm going to take a little bit. Okay, I just took a little bit. It's just one dot, and okay, I'm dabbing it. Not too much coverage. And I have a visitor over here, right here. It's not giving too much coverage, but I do see that it is smoothing my skin with a very light coverage, if you can see the difference. This is without the foundation and this is with the powder. So it's giving me a very light coverage, but it is smoothing out my skin, definitely. Can you see the difference between this side and this side? I don't know if the camera is picking it up. I can see a very slight difference because obviously here we still have the glow on the skin because of the skincare and everything. But here, because it's a powder product, the glow has gone, but still it's giving a very smooth and a finished, a polished look. Definitely. So yeah, so I think even if you're not doing anything, if you just want to go out to run some errands, using it with a powder brush would give you a very light coverage. If this is okay for you, it's still good. But now I'm going to take the sponge. I'm going to take, let's see how much it comes in one swipe. Wow. Wow, that is a lot of product in one swipe. So let's see how one swipe looks on the skin. So are you ready? Oh my God, wow. Wow, that's a lot. I'm going to do my entire right side with just this one swipe of foundation, and I think it's definitely more than enough. As the foundation is giving me a little more coverage, the color is getting a little bit darker on my skin. So I don't know if this is the exact right shade for me. Normally, if I use a liquid foundation, this shade is completely okay because anyway I use my concealer on top of the foundation, so it lightens up my face a little bit. But now I've used a concealer that is very similar to my skin tone. I did not want to lighten my under eyes a lot because I'm going for a very natural finish. So I hope this does not oxidize on my skin because it is a perfect match for my skin as of now, and in case it oxidizes, then that would become a bit darker. But as of now, I see that it is giving me a beautiful coverage. There's not a lot of difference between this side and this side. I don't have a lot of dark spots or any pigmentation, so maybe, but otherwise it is still giving me a beautiful coverage. I'm looking at myself in the mirror over here, and yeah, it has smoothed out my skin. Because I'm seeing, I know that I have a little bit more glow on this side, and this side is a little bit mattified. So yeah, let me try a little bit more and see if it's covering up this visitor over here. Definitely, okay, it is covering up. Alright, so yeah, definitely. So if you're using just the powder, I would say this is definitely a medium coverage. And that is the way I would like it to be, because the more full coverage it gets, there is a possibility that it would oxidize on your skin, and for having a perfect match to my skin tone, I don't want this to oxidize. Alright, so I'm just going to take another swipe and do the other side really quick. Alright, so this is with the other side done as well. So now what I was thinking, I'm going to take another swipe and I'm going to layer it on top just to see that how it looks when you layer it. So, wow, it's still giving more coverage. Wow, that's definitely awesome. Wow, it is improving the coverage. So the only thing I'm worried about is the more coverage it gives, the more there is a possibility for it to oxidize on the skin. So wow, I love the coverage that it is giving right now, and I know right now the trend is we use a lot of gluey products. We like to have the glowy skin, and there's a lot of cream foundations, cream blush, bronzer, all cream formulated products. And still there are brands that are coming out with powder products, and they are hitting the market so strong, and they are working well for a lot of skin types. And yeah, and I love that as well. I do love cream products, but it's not that I don't love powder products. So I'm going to do my entire face with just powder products today. I'm not going to layer it with any of the cream products, just to see how true it is. I'm going to take a little bit with the fluffy brush. It's really pigmented. I'm going to take the excess off and just brush a little bit on my under eye, because after I wore my concealer, I did not set my concealer. I don't have a lighter powder of this. I just bought one. So I'm just gonna set a little bit with my under eye. And wow, I really love the finish that it's giving me. Let me see what the time is right now. Alright, so the time is 11:34. And yeah, so I'm going to complete my entire face of makeup, and I'll be right back and we'll talk a little bit more about this foundation. Alright, so I've done my full face and I'm back here, and the first thing I want to say is it's beautiful. It looks so beautiful on the skin. I'm taking a closer look, and I'm not sure. I'll try to do a close-up of my face and my skin, especially this area by the sides of this cheek area. It is smooth and completely poreless. It is giving me such an amazing smooth finish, I am just loving it. Right now, the way it looks, if it looks exactly all day long, I would be wowed. It is beautiful. As I told you, I used all powder products on my skin and it was so smooth to blend, and my makeup was done so quickly. I did my entire makeup within 10 minutes. It hardly took me 10 minutes. So let's talk about the foundation. As I told you, for the packaging, it's very sleek, it's very easy to put in your purse, it's very easy to travel with. It has the embossed finish over here, a metallic finish. So I would say 10 on 10 on the packaging. I love the packaging. Okay, I would say 9 on 10 because one thing I expected was the sponge, but it's not that big a deal because I know a lot of people don't use the sponge, but I use the sponge a lot. So whenever I buy a powder foundation, I use the sponge that comes in the foundation, and that's the only reason I'm taking 1 point less. But otherwise, they already have this. I think they sell it separately. I'll try to put the price of this somewhere here, but I don't remember. It's either $10 or $15. I think it's for $15 if I'm not wrong, but you have the Sephora VIB sale going on right now, so you can grab one of these with the sale as well. So I love the sponge. The sponge is definitely worth it. Even if you don't want anything else, you can definitely buy the sponge. You can use it with any of the other products. But yeah, this made it so easy to wear the foundation. So you get 8 grams of product in this, that is 0.28 ounce, and this retails for $33. Alright, so let me go in with my day. By the end of the day, I'll come back and tell you whether I did the mask test or not, because it's so rare that I go out of the house. So if I step out of the house, the mask test will definitely be done, or else if you follow me on Instagram, I would always give an update over there as well. So yeah, let's see how this lasts for the entire day. So see you soon. Alright, so I'm back for my final check-in. The time is 7:48. So yeah, so we've exactly reached the 8-hour mark. And alright, so what do you think? I'm looking at my face right now. Let me take a closer look. I did wear the mask for an hour. I wore for an entire, slightly more than an hour. So I see that it has transferred, the foundation has transferred off. It's worn off from my nose and my chin area because that's mainly the part where the mask sits on. But otherwise, I don't see that it has gone anywhere else. So the mask test is not really valid because nowhere is it mentioned that it is transfer proof. So we cannot do the transfer test because they haven't said anywhere on the website that this is a transfer proof foundation. So, but still, I just wanted to say because nowadays we wear the mask every time. So if you get grossed out by mask, just move on further by 30 seconds. I'm going to show my mask now. So this is the mask. So this was the amount of transfer that I had and my lipstick in between. So other than the nose area and the chin area, there's no much transfer. I don't see anywhere that the foundation has worn off. So alright, so though it is not a criteria transfer proof, we still did a check. Now, to see if it still has kept my skin smooth and blurred, exactly yes. My skin is still very blurred and smoothed out. I don't see any pores on my cheek area or my chin or my forehead area. These are normally the areas where my pores come through. It is a matte foundation, but I do see a little bit of oil also coming through, so it is not super duper matte. They say it is a soft matte, so yes, it is a soft matte. If you have very, very oily skin, I don't think this would work very well on your skin because I have oily combination skin and I still have a little bit of oil coming through. So either use a really mattifying primer. I used the Secure the Blur primer. So it is not very mattifying. It is a makeup magnet primer. So it is, I feel it's slightly hydrating, but it smooths out my skin really well. So if you have oily skin and if you want to try this product, definitely use a mattifying primer. Now, so we know that it is still smoothing entire day. Now the 12-hour test, it wears for up to 12 hours and I normally do 8 hours and right now it's exactly 8 hours. I think for the 8-hour mark, other than the transfer that happened with the mask, I know I'm telling it again and again, I can't judge it on the transfer part because they haven't mentioned that it's transfer proof. So other than that, I think on the other parts of my face, it has sat exactly the way it was in the morning, and it also mentioned that it's true to color, and I would say I'm so happy about it because I can see the color of my blush still. Because normally with powder foundations, what happens is it eats up the color for my blush and my bronzer, and by the end of the day, my skin looks very pale. It looks just on one shade. But now I still have the glow from my highlighter, the blush, the bronzer. I can still see all the different shades on my skin, so I'm really happy about that. So when they say it is true to the color, it hasn't mattified and it hasn't eaten up any of my blush color or my bronzer color. So that is definitely a thumbs up as well. They say it smooths out fine lines and wrinkles. As I told you, I don't have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles, but I do have smile lines, and I do have certain foundations, not powder foundations, but definitely liquid foundations that doesn't settle on my smile lines. But this one I can see very slightly, ever so slightly, it has settled in my smile line, and I'll try to do a close-up. Very so slightly, it has settled a little bit on my smile line, and that is perfectly okay. It's not that visible, but it's very less it's settled on my smile line. As far as the coverage goes, the coverage is exactly the same as it was in the morning. As we know, for certain foundations, as time passes by, it loses the opacity, it gets a little more transparent, and your imperfections or your scars, they start peeking through. But this has given me the coverage all day long. Other than a little bit of oiliness coming through, I think everything else that they claim on the website is absolutely true to whatever they say. It's absolutely doing well on my skin. I like the way that it's giving me a smoothing effect on my skin for such a long time, because I do have pores at this area, and a lot of powder foundations, when I try them out, after the 5 or 6 hour mark, I can see my pores peeking through, but this is still giving me a smooth effect. I can show you a close-up of my face right now. So you can see the color of the blush, the bronzer, everything is so true to their shades. It's still on my skin, you can still see it. I just touched up my lips, but I haven't touched up anywhere. So yeah, so I think it's really good. So let's do the touch-up test now. So I'm taking the same puff that I used this morning. I haven't taken any extra product on it. This is the same one that I used the morning. So I'm just gonna press it on the areas where I have oiliness and see how it looks. So first take a good look, or let me just do one side. So I'm touching, I just did one touch up. Do you see? See the oiliness on this side and see it on this side. I just touched it up once. Wow. Wow. That is it, all the oiliness is gone. And there's no oiliness on my forehead, I'm just touching it up like that. But wow. Do you see this? Now it's absolutely fine. Other than the little worn off that's happened on my nose from the mask, it's absolutely fine. So I think this is an amazing product for touch-up as well. I did not take any extra product. It's just the same puff from morning, and my skin looks absolutely fine. It just looks like I did my foundation right now. So yeah, I love this foundation. I would definitely wear this foundation again and again, majorly because of the smoothing effect, the blurring effect that it gives on my skin. I already like their primer, and with the primer, this foundation is amazing. And if you have oily skin, as I told you, just try to use a mattifying primer, and you can also keep this in your purse or just the puff and touch it up whenever you have a little bit of oiliness coming through. But otherwise, I think it's so lightweight. It is so easy to wear. I wore it for 8 hours and it was so lightweighted. I didn't feel that I had any heavy foundation on my skin, and though I wore 2 layers of it. So yeah, it is a total thumbs up from my side. So if you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would mean so much to me. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and see you all in my next video. Bye.